everyone, welcome to Turtle Learn. I'm with Albert here today, and we'll be talking about nuclear energy. But since it's such a huge topic, we might as well just spread it into 5 sections. So today, let's begin with some history. First of all, I would like to go back in time and visit the ancient Greek philosopher Democritus. He argued that everything around us were made out of tiny particles that are indivisible. This was the origin of the ancient idea of an atom. However, though the word atom was still used until today, the way we understand and analyze them are fundamentally different from Democritus. For example, we might know that the atoms are not really indivisible, but instead of made out of 3 parts: protons, neutrons, and electrons. And it was this special understanding and analyzation of those tiny folks that allowed us to do things like this. Or this. But you might think, well, wait a second, isn't nuclear energy something really bad and might kill us? So, something like this. Anyway, let's stay away from these things for now. I mean, you won't get hurt from that anyway, so just stay with me. You might want to ask, well, how did we discover these dangerous stuffs in the first place? Short answer, out of pure coincidence. Long answer, by a French physicist named Henri becquerel in March 1896. So one day, Becquerel was doing this experiment to test his hypothesis on how uranium salts might absorb sunlight and re-emit it as X-rays. Well, in his experiment, he wrapped plates in black paper so that sunlight is blocked. He then puts the uranium salts on top of the wrapped plates and placed everything under the sun. After developing the plates, he could see a clear outline of the crystals, as well as those metal objects he placed between the crystals and the photographic plate. He then took this as an evidence that his idea was correct. While still seeking for further confirmation, he decided to continue doing his experiments. Another day, when the weather in Paris was refused to cooperate, he placed his uranium salts and photographic plates in a drawer. Well, several days later, when he developed the plates, he found out that those images were as clear as the images he got before. Well, with this accidental discovery, he concludes that uranium could emit radiation on its own without any interaction with the sunlight. And that is when we discover radioactivity, one of the greatest benchmarks in the human history. Then, let's progress. In 1942, the Chicago Pile 1, or CP1, was the first ever made artificial nuclear reactor, and this was when the first ever self-sustaining chain reaction took place. And this was probably the beginning of the nuclear age, but we're still working on it, so that's probably a topic for another day. Now, let's go to the first ever nuclear explosion in August 1945. In New Mexico, a test codenamed as Trinity took place. The plutonium implosion device, or gadget, detonated at precisely 5:30 a.m., released a huge amount of power, equivalent of 25 kilotons of TNT. While in comparison, the most powerful conventional weapon in the world so far, aviation thermobaric bomb of increased power, could only release an energy equivalent of around 44 tons of TNT. This not only reviews the immense danger of nuclear bombs, but it also tells us how much power nuclear energy can actually bring to us. And we see this very soon, later on in 1961, when the world's most powerful nuclear bomb, the Tsar Bomba, was detonated, while releasing an energy equivalent of 50 megatons of TNT. That is literally 5 followed by 7 zeros in tons of TNT. And that's a big number. So, as we kept progressing from the discovery of the radioactivity to the Tsar Bomba, you might notice that the energy emitted by these nuclear phenomena increases rapidly, from the amount of energy that can only power a light bulb to those powerful energy that can actually remove an entire city in the glimpse of your eyes. Well, those are some really amazing energy production over there, and which connects to our next video on nuclear fission. So, I'll see you next time, and thanks for coming to Turtle Learn.